What's up? What's up? What's up, Cowboys Nation? This is Apostle Benny. Uh, this is going to be my first stream on the Dallas Cowboys. I've been a Cowboy fan since I was 9 years old. I am 65 years old. 65 years old. So, what's that? 54 years of being a Cowboy fan. I was born in 1958. The Cowboys came into existence in, I believe, 1960. So 2 years after I was born. I really didn't fall in love with them until I went to a Redskins game. And back then, the Commanders or whatever they're called, the Washington team, because I grew up in Washington, D.C. and the Maryland metro area. They call it now the DMV, the District, Maryland, Virginia. I grew up in that area, and the Washington team was the hottest thing going. Man, look, they were so good and so important to the community that they were sold out. You had to be on a waiting list to even get to go into the stadium to watch your favorite team. Um, I My father had friends that had season tickets. That's how I got into the game. Um, and I went to a Washington versus Dallas game in the RFK Stadium. Stadium used to rock, and it was very interesting, man. Very, very interesting to me. Um, I hope y'all can hear me. I can't tell if my audio testing. Oh, I see that the audio's going out. I have absolutely no one in the chat, which is fine because this is my first time doing any type of Dallas Cowboy um, content. I am a consecrated apostle. I minister the word of God on my other channel, Disciples of Yeshua Deliverance Ministry. Uh, I take the word very seriously. I am sold out for Christ, even though I watch the Dallas Cowboys. What people don't understand is just because we're called into ministry doesn't mean we don't have a life. It just enhances our life, and it helps us to help you enhance your life. So, anyway, um, maybe others will watch this later during playback. But like I was saying, I went to this game and a little kid surrounded by all of these Washington Craze fans. The people who took me there, my cousin, um, who had a season ticket, took me. My father had friends with season ticket, and I was trying to think, did the was they the ones who took me and my cousin? Anyway, I got to the game, and it was George Allen's team, and he was playing the Cowboys, Tom Landry's team, and man, they had the over the hill game with Bill Brundage and uh, Sonny Jurgensen and Billy Kilmer's crew. Byron Talbert, the Dancing Bear. They had Chris Hamburger. They had Pat Fisher, and I knew the players, and I liked the players, but the team was never appealing to me. They were sloppy and they were fat, they were dirty, and over the hill gang. This is before Hogs, uh, George Allen's team, and then there were this other guys, the Cowboys. Tom Landry had those boys looking so crisp. Their shirts were tucked in. Everybody looked uniformed. They didn't look dirty like the other team, like Washington team. They were fast. The Washington team was beating them. It was like the fourth quarter, and Roger Staubach led them to a fourth quarter comeback. Wow. I wanted to be. Hey, they used to do that Landry shift, which I'm glad they kind of do homage to it now. But we used to watch that, man. It was first team to have shotgun. They had computers implemented into their system before anyone else. Um, anyway, that day, man, it did it for me. I liked them. I really started buying into them. And so we played football outside. We played football every day. Every day, rain or shine, we played football. The guys who I grew up with. And I was always whoever the Cowboys running back was then. Quarterback never really appealed to me, but running back did. Matter of fact, when I was in high school, 1976 was my bicentennial graduation class in 1976. We drafted Tony Dorsett, and I lost it, man. I was on the Beltway coming home from Toys R Us, just bought a brand new 10-speed bike that where I had saved my money and earned it. And I heard on the news that we had signed Tony Dorsett. You know, the draft wasn't what it is today. We had to wait until it happened, and then we would hear. We didn't witness it. The combine wasn't what it is today. News, TV, none of this stuff was around, man. No sports specialized stations were around. But there was like an hour. Ken Beatrice, George Michael's Sports Machine came along, and there was a guy, Frank Herzog, I believe, on WTOP, which is Channel 9, which was CBS. Man, it was just very, very little news that you get, but man, I lost it on the Beltway. My mother was like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Mom, we're going to Super Bowl. We're going to Super Bowl," and we did. 1977, 76, 77, I think. We beat the Denver Broncos. I'd have to look that up, but 24-10. I'll never forget the score because we were playing Craig Morton. He used to be a Cowboy, and Randy White and Harvey Martin and Too Tall Jones and those boys put a hurting on that dude, man. I believe that's the game where we got the two. We had co MVPs because they didn't just want to give it to Harvey Martin like he should have got it. I think they wanted Randy White to share in it with him because they couldn't choose the Manster man, Randy White from Maryland. He was awesome. Uh, yeah, the Cowboys. I'm just giving y'all some history from back in the day. Um, Spoke to my heart. I'm gonna tell you the day they locked me in. I told you I fell in love with them, but the day they locked me in, Clint Longley games, Thanksgiving. My father was having a football party upstairs, and he had his boys over. They were watching the game, and no, they were downstairs watching the game. I was upstairs, and then I went downstairs to get in there, and I had just started liking the Cowboys, and so they were getting on me, calling me all kind of names, and I don't even know what half those words meant. But I went upstairs because we were losing, and back then I was very emotional about football, like I think a lot of fans still are. I'm not now, and I was in my feelings, and all of a sudden I heard all of them say the S word. Oh, S. I was like, what happened? I jumped up out the bed because back then, we had instant replay, but it was very slow. I ran downstairs, man, and all of them were looking at me, and they played the replay, and I threw my hands up, and I was so happy, and they hated me and called me names. And I went back upstairs, and I was good, and we won the game. Flint Longley, after they had knocked out Roger, and I was watching on my little black and white. They was downstairs watching it on the big black and white. I don't think we had a color TV then. I'm not sure. But that's the day I got locked in. And I've been rooting for the Cowboys ever since. Ever since. And so I'm gonna start talking about them because I said I wasn't gonna talk about them, not being in the position that I am now with all these content makers. I'm not going to be doing all kinds of, I don't think I'll be doing film breakdown and all these other things, but I will be talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Um, so some people are not going to be comfortable with it, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to do what I'm led to do right now. The thing I want to tell the Cowboy fans, first of all, I don't know how we're getting all these new fans. We haven't done anything in 30 some odd years or 20 some odd, close to 30 years. How do we get these new fans besides the ones who are born in Dallas? Uh, I don't know. Maybe their parents are making people root for them or what? I don't know. I think being a Dallas fan is a fad. I think there's a lot of folks who just root for the Cowboys or wear their colors because it's the hot thing. It's a good thing to do. I don't know why it's a hot thing. It's a good thing to do the way we play, and everybody think we losers and all this and that. But man, it's nothing like being a Cowboy fan to me. I've been one, and I'll die one. Um, but I got tired of watching mainstream media. I am so glad this new media, as the new media, is out there. I am so happy. I watch people like CFT. That's my man. Matter of fact, I got his shirt. If you see my thumbnail, I don't know if they showed it, but you'll see the thumbnail, CFT. Uh, Matter of fact, I should. I could show it. I guess I could share my screen. I don't know how to do any of this stuff here. I'm just learning. Let me see. Can I share my screen? I don't know. I can basically close the chat because no one's chatting. As far as I'm, let me see. I'm not sure. I'm using YouTube. I'm not using anything that's fancy. I have to find out about streaming and streaming softwares. I do work in social media, though. I was going to say television, but it's social media at this church that I serve at, and I work there. But I have my own ministry, and I do everything, my editing, I do everything for our ministry. Let me see. I see polls, I see Q&As. What else? Can I share my screen? I don't see how to share. You don't have access to this feature. Oh, there's a calendar. Send feedback. Pop out dashboard. Anyway, so CFT, that's my man. I have a shirt, one of the let them hate most hated with Dak Prescott on it because everybody hates him for some reason. Great player. I don't care what you say. I've seen bad players. He's not a bad player. He's not just a good quarterback. He's a great quarterback. People don't want to give it to him. Tony Romo, to me, was a great quarterback, but he had something missing when it came time to pressure. I think it's just his thinking process of him having to be the savior used to get to him. So I don't think he had that cool, calm, collected thing when pressure got on. But Tony, man, I love to watch Tony play. I think Tony Romo was a great quarterback. He just didn't win the Super Bowls. Um, but I'd take Tony Romo over a whole lot of quarterbacks. Troy Aikman was great, and everybody look at his numbers and say he wasn't that great, but he had Emmitt Smith, man. He had Emmitt. He didn't have to do all. He didn't have to throw for 5,000 yards a year. He didn't have to throw like Marino did. He didn't have to throw like that. He didn't have to do a Dan Fouts. You know, Starback either. He had Tony Dorsett. All our quarterbacks had, man. We've always had a complementary team. Defense good, running back good, wide receivers good, quarterback good, tight end good, offensive line good. That's the difference in the Dallas Cowboys. When they win, they have a whole team concept. So saying Dak needs help, so what? That's what we do. We help. We believe in the whole team being good and helping. So right now, this year, 2023, I think Dak is the closest to having all the help he needs, even though the offensive line isn't what it needs to truly be. But it's good enough. I believe it's good enough. He's just going to have to work it out. He's going to have to work it out. But yeah, like CFT, I listen to him. Now, I don't listen to ESPN. I call their name. I don't listen to the 4-letter networks. I don't listen to the 3-letter networks. I listen to new media. I listen to CFT. I listen to CFO. That's Jay Tuck. I listen to Law Nation. I listen to Boss Cowboy. I listen to Watch Lombardi. I listen to Skywalker Steel. I listen to Foots the King. I listen to the OC, Big Game James, Landlord, West Coast, Mark Holmes, and even sometimes Fish. Sometimes I listen to DallasCowboys.com crew with Aisha and Kyle and Nick and the other Nick. Man, I love listening, getting my news straight from them. When I was in high school, I started going downtown to the National Press Building so I could get clippings and newspapers from Dallas. I used to get Dallas newspaper, and I would put their pictures all up in my room. My whole room was like Texas Stadium. I had pictures of murals all on my walls of games. And the reason I went down there and got them because the pictures were being color. Only time they were in color in the Washington Post was if the Cowboys were playing the Washington team. But every week they was in color if you went and got a Dallas paper. I used to get the Herald, the Morning News. I don't remember getting the Star Telegram. But then I signed up for the Dallas Cowboy magazine. I used to get that every week. I'd cut pictures out. Matter of fact, one of my best friends, Russell, he started doing the same thing. He did his so much in his room. He had a hole in the roof where he didn't have anything. And it was like being inside. We called the Texas Stadium. So we were really into the Dallas Cowboys. I've been to both their stadiums. I didn't go to the Cotton Bowl. I haven't been there. Don't think I'll ever go, but I did go to Texas Stadium in this AT&T, which was Cowboy Stadium. I've been there. Uh, I even listened to Brian, who's on 103.5. I mean 105.3. He's about the only one. Well, him. I listened to uh, Gray. That's on there also. Um, but that shock jock crap that the other ones do, not all of y'all, but most of them. I'm not into that. I'm not into that playing the devil's advocate crap either. I'm either you're a fan or you're not. And I think actually people in mainstream media, they shouldn't be fans. They shouldn't root for anyone. I came up in a time where you didn't know what people thought. You know, you didn't know who was a Democrat or who was a Republican. You didn't know what people thought. They just reported the news. But these guys nowadays, man, they get some kind of personal. They get some kind of personal about everything. So you got to turn to this station if you want to hear good stuff about this person. You got to turn to this channel if you want to hear good stuff about this one. You know, so it's all about opinions and being well, I was in the barbershop the other day and we were talking about being objective or subjective. And it's a lot of subjectivity media out there. And I love listening to my boys, because all of us are biased towards Cowboys. Good. I like that. I don't need but they objective also. They're not just as boss would say, they just not drinking the Kool-Aid. They measure the Kool-Aid, then drink it. Right, boss? So I don't know how many of these guys to see. I'm probably gonna tag these guys, man, to let them know that Apostle Benny is out here doing this thing. I don't know how long this will last. It may only be for a season. I haven't felt what it'll feel like to have to come on here and to give up content after a great loss. You know what I'm saying? But these guys, all those guys that I named, they are mainstays. They're good at what they do. They're the best to me. They have their own specialties. They're specialists at some things, but all of them cover the Dallas Cowboys from all angles. And guess what? I didn't even name all of them. There's so many content creators, and I love them all. I love the content creators for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, there's some more for other teams that they're okay. They're okay, but they love their team. I really don't want to hear that mess they're talking. I want to hear about the Dallas Cowboys. I used to be a football fan. I'm a Cowboy fan now. The only reason I even engage in the other teams is because of fantasy football. I have like 5 fantasy teams this year. I always get one. I just load it up with Cowboys. Everybody says, "Oh, he's stupid," because they don't know what I'm doing. And the Cowboys win. Woo! They have a great game. Woo! They don't. Whatever. But I don't care about that. I have other teams that I play the conventional way, and you pick your teams. According to their abilities for other teams. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here quickly and tell y'all some stuff. I've been going for 21 minutes now, almost 22. I'll get a good 30 minutes in. And I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm Apostle Benny. I'm a man of God. I believe in Jesus Christ. Um, I believe that you should believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that's the only way to God. I believe that through salvation is how we get empowered. We get saved by Christ by confessing with our mouth the Lord Jesus and believing in our heart that God raised him from the dead. And then God teaches us how to live on this earth. That's why they hear people get up and after they win and he said thank God and he's on that team. This one said thank God and he's on the other team. They say, well, which one does God root for? God don't root for nobody. God roots for his children. He's not on a team. He's not on the side. The Cowboys, we said God's favorite team because y'all put that thing on us, man. We talking about the hole in the roof so he can look at his team. God can see. God don't need a hole to see through anything. He can see you in the darkest place. He can see you. So I love the Americans team though. Um, I've never seen the team. Deion Sanders' team at Colorado, they like the closest thing to America's team. Because no matter who you root for, you all up in their business. No matter who your team is, they don't say nothing about your team, but you in their business. That's how we are. We ain't got to say nothing about the team in Philadelphia, the team in New York, or the is there another one? Philly, New York. Oh yeah, the team in Washington. We don't have to say nothing about them. The team in San Francisco, the team in Pittsburgh, the team in Atlanta, the team in Miami, the team in any team. We ain't got to say nothing about them. They talk about us. And if they're playing us to them for some reason, it's a great big game. Got to get up. Got to beat them. Can't get beat by them. It's been going on for years. I've watched the Cowboys. I've seen them win. I've seen them beat Craig Morton. I've seen them lose to the Steelers twice. I've seen them beat Minnesota in a NFC championship game, which is awesome. I've seen them beat the 49ers in the championship game. I've watched them lose to the 49ers in the championship game, which hurt my heart. the catch, Everson Walls, my man. I've always told people he was my cousin. I don't know if he's my cousin or not. My, that's my last name, Walls. So I don't know. From Grambling. All I know is I love his white hair and his wide nose. And he was kind of knock kneed like I am. So like I was, but I've had knee surgery. So uh, I don't know, man. I know why I became a fan. I know why fans in my day became fans because we was winning. We ruled. When they changed from NFL and AFL to NFC and AFC, we was the only team that won the Super Bowl in the NFC. I used to use that all the time. And we still 5 times, even though we've been there, I think 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 times. We've been in the Super Bowl. And people are like, well, that was a long time ago. Well, when you live long enough, everything's a long time ago. What have you done for me lately? It all depends on when they started this salary cap. It kind of messed us up a little bit because we like to go out and spend that money and get the best, even if there was a track star. We was gonna do something. We did some things. Cowboys innovators in football. Innovators in football. Jerry Jones, he got his way, but this is the thing about Jerry. Jerry owns the team. I don't spend Jerry money. Y'all act like y'all spend his money. People be tripping me out. You can't give Dak this. You can give Dak anything you want, Jerry. You can mess the team up. You can blow it up. You can make the team. Hey, it's yours. You went to work. Your money. You can do what you want. He ain't check off with Dak. He didn't talk to Mike McCarthy. So what? He said he ain't had time to do all that, and he don't have to do that. Y'all try to put undue pressure on him to make people look at him a certain way, and it works. Jerry Jones have brought more money to the NFL. Woo, ask the owners. Ask his peers. Don't ask your friend because your friend don't know him. Your friend never spent that type of money. Your friend don't know what that money means. I don't either. I haven't spent that type of money, so I don't spend this money. Jerry, do what you want to do. Jerry got rid of Amari Cooper, man. It just wasn't right. It didn't help us at all. There's a lot of things Jerry did that just weren't helpful, but Jerry brought 3 rings. Even with Jimmy Johnson, the way he's doing Jimmy right now, which nobody agrees with, except for people who might know all the details. If we really want to see Jimmy in the Ring of Honor, it would make us so happy. I know Jerry says like he got more years behind him than in front of him, and he's run out of time. Jerry, time is running out, man. I'm old too. I was a Cowboy fan before you owned the Cowboys. I was a Cowboy fan a long time ago. I watched what you did, man. I mean, nobody liked you, especially when you got rid of Tom Landry. Ooh, boy. But after a while, when you bought them 3 Super Bowls, it was like, okay, all right. But there's been some questionable things he's done, but he's a general manager. So you start saying he's a meddling owner. No, he's a general manager. General managers meddle. You don't know what hat he had on. When he got on the general manager hat, he can do what he want to do. Sell it, tell this person this, not. When he's the owner, hey, it's his. So it's kind of funny talking about Jerry. Anyway, let's talk about these Giants that we're getting ready to play. Can we beat the Giants? We can. And we got to go up there. They're going to have a blue out instead of like a white out, which they had last year. They have a blue out where everybody wear blue. We don't mind that. I hope make Dallas wear the blue. I love to see us in our blue uniform. I love our blue uniforms. People don't like. I wish we get to wear the blue at home. I don't like our white uniforms that much. I love the blue uniform. I love our colors. Even though they've changed them over the years. Our uniform, I like our uniform. I like that blue. I like that silver. One day y'all gonna see me. Probably the next time I do a live stream, I'm gonna have on my cowboy stuff, and I'll talk to some folks. But I want y'all to remember this one because I had like one viewer And nobody in the chat. This is Apostle Benny. I'm going to sign off. I love y'all. Get saved. Hey, watch some football this weekend. All right? Peace.